not to find idea. We all confess, you no get forgive me, no quell me. We all confess, if you no get forgive me, no quell me. I enjoy all my gamia. Kumusa wikichi dabaru. That's not good for me and you. Diaspora, we need for some reserve. So we forget real love for we serve. Forget good talk, so we serve. Then let we dance, let we shake, let we chant. Yeah. United Diaspora. We all care for better, we no confess problem. Now he make we for all be safe. We all are diaspora. Yes, we all miss we from Holland, but we they work very hard. For talking and copper back home, we all are diaspora.
Famudem, connected na for nothing. We all na mortal man and we get older. So let we left Congo Sahel line, and for bad that we come small so if we sabi wasan, we go eat na big man dey pan. For catch big man and I can down, no today. Get after, now where you big man and you get. So let we left Congo Sahel line, and for bad that we compete. And for the world, that's like when Salone. Salone man, if we want make Salone for genuine attitude. Salone man, if we want make Salone for genuine attitude. Salone man, if we want make Salone for genuine attitude. They do bad when they talk, you say how for do. You man they do bad when they talk, you say how for do. You F they do bad when they talk, you say how for do. You papa they do bad when they talk, you say how for do. How for do oh, and bad that's like when Salone. Salone man, if we want make Salone for genuine attitude. Salone man, if we want make Salone for genuine attitude. Salone man, if we want make Salone for genuine attitude.
chronic disease, tribalism, everlasting sickness. Oh, 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 oh. Person wey sabi work, we no gree take am for work, because na bandon tribe. Na person wey no sabi, na him we dey take, because na langa tribe. Na wetin we dey do so. I be na front we dey go, on a back we dey come. That na forward never, and backward never. Oh, go, 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 go. If you know from my tribe, I no go fit help you. If we no speak the same dialect, I no go fit take you like person. It just be like say, no be the same God create us. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh. God help us drive tribalism. You be Alpha and Omega. Now you alone go drive tribalism. You be Alpha and Omega. Oh.
Tune into Alhaji Thonkla and Yamba
Deen Kamara.
Well done. God bless you.
This program, I've would count a different type of energy. We have to see.
Sounds interesting.
Absolutely. We can for strengthen that's what voices. DJ Little, not so you can see that. God bless you.
Thank you.
You've done. You were doing
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. You get one thing. You get one thing. You get one thing. One like where a politician forgets. That charisma. You get fun. You
have balance.
Powerful. You get listen. You know glued or married to anybody.
Yeah.
You always data for governance data
Very
community.
close.
I fly green, white, and blue.
No, you very good at presenting. You very impressive.
Honestly,
That's great.
from there, I watch and follow you. Listen, you don't contribute. You don't contribute champion.
You don't contribute a lot towards the community.
God bless you. Never forget.
Because na bandon tribe. Na person we no sabi, na him we dey take. Because na langa tribe. Na wetin we dey do so. I be na front we dey go, on a back we dey come. That na forward never, and backward never. Go 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 go. From my tribe, I no go fit help you. If we no speak the same dialect, I no go fit take you like person. It just be like say, no be the same God create us. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh. God help us drive tribalism. And Omega. Now you alone. Everybody, according to the Bible, all people be one, and I want God create everybody. But he get one sickness where they worry us. That sickness, that tribalism, chronic disease, tribalism,
sabi walk, we no gree take am for walk. Because na bandon try. Na person we no sabi, na him we dey take. Because na langa try. Na waiting we dey do so. I be na front we dey go, or na back we dey come. That na forward never, and backward never. Oh, go, 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 go. If you know from my tribe, I no go fit help you. If we no speak the same dialect, I no go fit take you like person. It just be like say, no be the same God create us. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh. God help us drive tribalism. You be Alpha and Omega. Now you alone go drive tribalism. You be Alpha and Omega. Oh.
If you having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
Just dream it. Bid it. Go to lifestylebiz.com and let the adventure begin.
Family United presents Dinner and Dance. Fireworks. DJs are gonna be DJ Nito, MC Costo, MC Alan Smith, and MC Isata Sise Jalo. For more information, contact the numbers now showing on your screen. Music by Nubian Night. Don't forget to join Family United on the 30th of November 2019 at the Royal Regency Hall. Be there.
If you having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
So Nikki, you're a winner.
Yeah, I've won 3 times now.
Wow, is that all through Lifestyle Bids, right?
That's right. So first I won the Music Awards, which was in London. Then I won the boxing match, which was in Cardiff. All I had to do was bid 83 pence for that. And then the music festival, which was in California.
And the private jet?
Yeah, maybe 3 mates won that too.
So I think it's definitely safe to say that Lifestyle Bids works for you.
Oh yeah, Lifestyle Bids definitely works for me.
So don't just dream it. Bid it. Go to lifestylebiz.com and let the adventure begin.
Thank you, Lord, for all you have done. Thank you, Jesus, for all you will do.
Araba Taile, shake up your body, belly body, tell me they make all man they gladdy. Araba Taile, shake up your body to the beat, me about up the place in a Taile.
Famous to all the baby where them woke me at, where don't make me feel like say I'm not man enough, I no get nothing for offer. To all the party when look down on me, where don't make me feel like say my life no go become something, and they walked away. All the people who promise for help me, they take home office today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. The story not just the same, but I refuse to give up. I kept on hoping, I kept believing. Now everything don't change. Me wanna see me life now.
If you having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car rank 1. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, oh man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, you know, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
Hello, welcome back. And as we promised our last Monday, that we start the program tonight. First, we're sorry for the late because of technical issues. But we will actually give you something when I will like tonight for appreciating them for being late. But thank you very much and welcome. We thank you on our time on our take for the follow week. Tonight, I get to host. I get Mr. Lambe, Sonny, he there with me when a labor councillor. We tell us he will call somebody way na a big gun. So we'll get one of the labor councillors with you tonight at the program. I get my co-host, the General Chief Yamba Deen Kamara. Then I get my sister instead of dinner way the kind for coming to the program when our sister Mariama Baby-Leigh Kamara. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome on board.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem, sir. And as I've just given us a summary of the program, or even I spoke in Lingua Franca, of which you understand. Yeah. So, as I stated, we have Mr. Sonny here, a comrade, a very strong Labour councillor that has contributed a lot within the SALONE and Youth and London entity. And he's here because he has expertise. He's here because he has the knowledge within the SALONE environment. So we are trying to juice out some information from him that will be able to enlighten us, because this program is about enlightenment. It's about education. So Mr. Sonny, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now the first question that I have for you, I would like you to distinguish between the role of a councillor and the role of an MP. Because weeks ago I held a meeting with Harriet Hammond. She told me that there are some people contacting her for something that's supposed to be done by a councillor. So wherein it's like there's a confusion. So I would like you to clear the disparity between the role of your councillorship and the role of an MP, and what have you as a councillor or with your colleagues have contributed to the borough that were able to help us diasporans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Syrians. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. In fact, the question you asked, that's more reason why we should all get involved.
Absolutely.
Because this question, or the answer to this question, actually, we all know it. It's just that when we see it, we don't probably recognize it. Just imagine, if I give you an example of Peckham, for instance. Peckham is divided into wards, and the ward is a subset of a whole constituency. in some constituencies you have 4, 5, 6 wards, and in some, like Suffolk for instance, you have 3 constituencies. You have in Bermondsey and Old Suffolk, which Nekoi is our MP, where I'm a councillor there.
Oh, okay.
I'm a councillor in South Bermondsey.
South Bermondsey, okay.
Then within the constituency, you have Rutherford Ward, and then you also have North Bermondsey Ward.
Okay.
So you can have. In fact, only recently, before last election, that we have boundary changes.
Okay.
Whereby, the old boundaries changes. For instance, I used to represent South Bermondsey. I still represent South Bermondsey, but Old Kent Road, used to be part of my ward.
Okay.
You know where Tesco is?
Tesco's, yeah.
Yes, it used to be part of my ward up to where the
Asda?
junction, up to
PC Ward.
Up to junction of PC Ward.
PC Ward, okay.
But because of boundary changes, it's no longer in my ward. It's part of Old Kent Road ward.
Okay.
So in Suffolk, we have 3 constituencies.
3 constituencies.
Yes. So we have, as I mentioned before, Bermondsey and Old Suffolk, 1 constituency, which the Cllr represent.
Yeah.
And then we have, Peckham, Camberwell and Peckham, for instance, which Aretaman represents.
Yeah.
And then we also have Dulwich, and Enhill and all that side, which we have Ellen Else represents.
Okay, so Ellen is in that area?
In that area.
Okay.
But you see, sometimes could be
it's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Because
that's what I want.
It's a part of Suffolk crosses into Lambe.
Lambeth, yes.
Into Lambe. It's because when you look at Henhill and all that area,
yes, that's Lambeth area.
But that's Lambe. But that's part of it.
Okay. It's in Suffolk.
At the same time, when you also look at part of Suffolk, for instance, Nonhead, part of Nonhead where you have the cemetery.
Cemetery, yeah.
How do I describe?
It's a Crystal Palace.
There's an area part of where you cross into Brockley.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes there are some issues that you may think you are in Lewisham, for instance. It could be councillors from Suffolk that we deal with it.
Okay, see, this way here. Yeah.
So, of course, now all these things, trust me, it's very difficult. Even those who are, current councillors, serving councillors, sometimes, especially because of boundary changes, you may be dealing with a casework, and then you realize actually it crossed into somebody else's ward. Yes, because the postcode can be confusing.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. If you look at Camberwell, Cllr Lane, is SC5. Part of Camberwell, which is part of Camberwell, which is SC5. Part of it can be around Southampton Way, Southampton Way.
Yes,
and then if you go on Cllr Lane, part of it is Lambeth,
okay.
and where part of it is in Suffolk.
Okay.
So the more you get involved in the political process, the more you understand all these things.
Okay.
Because even before, even though I've been part of the Labour movement since 1989.
Wow, see,
when I became the first union leader in the for part-time postal workers, but I never joined the Labour Party.
Okay.
So therefore, I didn't even want to join politics because one, when you are aware of African politics, if you grew up in Africa, it puts you off completely. So I didn't want. I said, politics not for me. But I was still doing my bits in the community until and I joined the Labour Party itself in 1999.
Wow.
And I've never left the Labour Party since then. I just didn't want to get involved in politics. But politics found me.
Yeah, I know.
So yes, being involved in politics, and also the question you asked about boundary, it depends on where you live. Also, it depends on what are the issues that affect the particular community. So the understanding of ward, constituency. Take for instance, if you want to expand it a bit, constituency. If you're talking about London government constituency, London Assembly, which I'm also trying to stand. Now it comprises of 2 boroughs. You have, take for instance, the Lambe and Suffolk is one constituency for the London Assembly. For the London Assembly, 2 boroughs.
So 2 boroughs, they are one constituency.
For one constituency. And where I express my interest for standing is Bexley and Bromley.
Okay.
So you can see Bexley on one side,
Yes,
Bromley on the other side. But it's one constituency when it comes to London government.
Okay.
Whereas when it comes to the borough, you can have about 3 constituencies, one borough.
One borough.
Yes, and then you can have within that constituency you can have about 3 different wards.
Okay.
And in Suffolk, for instance, we have 63 wards. Oh, sorry, I said wards. We have 63 councillors.
Okay.
And because of boundary changes, there are from wards where you have two councillors. In my ward, for instance, you have 3 councillors.
3 councillors.
Whereas I think, if I remember correctly, I think in Dulwich they have one or two councillors. So because of boundary changes. So and sometimes that helps because especially in an area like Peckham, for instance, where you have a lot of people from the ethnic minority with issues, to be dealt with, could be housing, could be, all these things. So therefore, I think that was taken into consideration when you were creating new work to see where there'll be more casework.
Okay.
There'll be more.
Sorry, if you have an housing issue, instead of going to the MP, you should go through your councillor.
That's right. So if you have an housing issue, if your bill is not collected, you should go to your councillor first, because councillor is derived from council.
So they work in tandem.
Therefore, any local issue is dealt with by the council.
Okay.
And then the councillors are the one who then make all the local laws that governs issues at the local level.
Okay.
Whereas when it comes to London, it's the London Assembly members who then respond for certain, as I mentioned before, where you have, like in case of Suffolk and Lambe, you have Florence who representing us.
Yeah.
So issue relating to both boroughs. She'll be the one, especially at the London Assembly level. She'll be the one that we need to contact if it's something that we have to contact at that level. Now, if it comes to constituency, it is your local MP you have to deal with. Now, if it's something that they believe your local councillor should be able to deal with, they will direct you to the local councillors. But unfortunately, in some cases, you'll be surprised that most people, they know their MPs and they say, "Oh, I'm going to my MP," where I discover that actually is your local councillor who's better placed to be able to deal with that issue. So therefore, you're better off going to talk to your local councillors, because of course you can talk to your MP sometimes if it's dragging on for too long. In most cases, probably going to refer you back to your local councillors to deal with, or and in fact, in my own constituency where I'm a ward where I'm a councillor, for instance, we work closely with NECOI's staff. So whereby even if they are given some case to work on, they pass it on to us. Or when we go out on campaigning together, I pick up those cases, I deal with them.
Hold on to that, please. I mean, Mr. Yamba Deen, please, do you have anything to say to Mr. Sonny?
A lot to say here. Listeners, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have us here. This is Diasporan Voices, Sierra Leone Today. This is your program. and I believe you guys are enjoying yourselves out there. Tonight here we have our guest, as the host himself have just stated, Mr. Thonkla, our councillor, Mr. Sami Lambe, and our able sister who will join us later on. As Thonkla highlighted, I've listened to you trying to explain to us the difference between the councillor and that of the MP, the role you played in the society. My question to you is, there are so many issues that has affected the society, most especially the youths, our kids today. And as by looking at the setting, the social construct, I'm referring to SALONE itself. Everyone out there or here within us can attest to me or to us here that there is more concentration of Sierra Leoneans in Southern Borough.
Oh, yes.
But there are a lot of issues like crime rate, and today our kids are involved. What is your role towards diffusing this issue of black ethnic minorities in this your borough you are controlling?
To be honest with you, I remember I said I got involved in politics by accident. I didn't want to get involved. It was when Damilola Taylor died in Peckham, because just a few years away from my local church, St. Luke's, where he was killed. And I also live not too far from there. I've lived in Peckham, in fact, most of my life in the UK. And when he died, it touched, every single person that had the circumstances that led to his death will be touched by it. But I'm one of these people that I always, when there's a problem, I always be okay, what can I do to contribute towards solving that problem? Even imagine if there are 10 problems, 10 issues. If you manage to solve one, you don't have 10 anymore. You have 9 instead of 10. So therefore, and one of the things that came out was that we are bored. Well, when I was growing up, especially those of us who came from Africa, being bored doesn't mean you go and commit crime. But at the same time, we are living at a different, time zone, different society. So just like our parents, their own time, things were different. And our own time, things are different. So therefore, our children and grandchildren's time, things will be different. So therefore, let's listen to them. So that led me to setting up,
Okay, thank you very much. Let me interrupt you here, our guest. Also, Mr. Thonkla mentioned about the differences between you guys, the councillors, and the MPs, and people don't understand exactly who to meet when there's a problem. And this is where the confusion is. Should it be you guys, the councillors, or the MPs? Who is more helpful in this circumstance?
If it's an issue that is local, my advice to you is to speak with your local councillors first. Because they are closer to the ground, closer to the scene. Because, especially, take for instance, if it's issue that relates to rehousing, for instance, you want to move, maybe you are overcrowded and you want to move, or your litters are not being picked regularly, your bins and so on, then you speak to your local councillors, because it's something they can quickly do. We do casework regularly. But if it's something like, I'll give you an example, like immigration, which I know. So,
well, we didn't mention immigration, but
let's this is diaspora voices.
The reason why I mentioned that, because I know, especially most of our people who are of this diaspora, this is a key issue, concern for most of them. Now, an MP is better placed to be able to help you.
In case of when there is an immigration problem?
Yes, when there's an immigration problem, to help you. Simply because, don't forget, they are the lawmakers. The MPs are the lawmakers. They are the national lawmakers, who represent that constituency.
So from our understanding here, the intervention of the MP stands a better chance of assisting them?
Yeah, we'll be very, because they have the resources.
Okay.
And they are given the resources to be able to deal with issue like that.
Okay.
Whereas a local councillor is not resourced to be able to do it. I mean, some MPs have their own office, where, just like Nicole, for instance, he has his office which on Jamaica Road. And I know Aria used to have an office Peckham, but I'm not too sure where it is now. And some other MPs, they have their office. So therefore, even if they are not there, a member of their team will be able to help you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, yeah, so therefore, there are layers of responsibility.
There are layers of responsibility.
Yeah. Just like I mentioned before,
so
if it's something to do with cross-borough.
Yeah, we're talking about diversifying the responsibilities. Is that what you're saying here?
Well, you know, it's probably more than just the diversity of the responsibilities. It's more to do with who is best placed to be able to deal with the particular issue. And also when it comes to the law as well, which govern, you have the local government, you have the the regional government, which is London Assembly. You then have the Parliament.
Yes.
Even you then even have the European Parliament.
Yeah.
Well.
That's a pyramid. That's a pyramid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like when something happen in your family. Sometimes you probably go to, if it's a family where you have mommy and daddy, you probably go to mommy or daddy or so before you then go to outside.
Exactly.
So it's better to follow that layer of responsibility.
Yeah,
Saying, okay,
Mr. Thonkla, So Mr. Lambe, there's an issue I want us to let's discuss this issue properly. This knife and gun crime. Looking at the role of the black Americans in America in politics, the impact they've made. They're looking at, you are the head of the black labor movement. It's a very powerful movement, but we tend to knock the glass ceiling. We haven't broken it yet. That's one. So now let's call it. How can we challenge this I call it threat to national security? This threat that is eating into the black and ethnic minority. Because we are losing the next generation. We are losing the future. How can we, as a black labor movement, challenge this issue? This is a national issue. What can we do to address this huge threat to us?
I think first of all we need to be organized. You see, if we have a very organized voice of 20, 30 people, it carries more weight than say one person. Imagine if there's a family, either his mommy will go and speak on behalf of the family, or daddy, or both of them go together. They listen more than the individual. Say, I'm representing this family. And the same thing with our community, as black community. If we have a very effective voice, we can say, okay, our black community, these are the issues affecting us. And A says it, a woman says it, a young person says it. We have a forum where we meet, where we discuss this issue to give it some degree of legitimacy.
Okay.
Then we can then present that to the authorities. Because that's where the political process is very useful. Because they know if they don't listen to us, election is coming, we will find a party that listens to us.
That's correct.
Okay. That's why democracy is the best way. If they don't listen to your community, you hear when the Jewish community, when they were upset about the way Labour Party is dealing with the issue of anti-Semitism, even though arguably the party says they are doing enough, they are doing, but obviously it's not enough to them. So therefore, because they have a voice, you have the Jewish labor movement.
Can I just stop there for seconds, please? Listeners, ladies and gentlemen, you can contact us on this number, 07946141369 or 0207 642 1389. Ladies and gentlemen, once more again, if you want to reach us here, you can reach us on the following number: 0794-614-1369. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So now, the reason why we feel left behind as a community, because we don't have an effective voice. And I remember, I was discussing with Sister earlier on about when the Sierra Leone Civil War ended. Because I remember in the 90s, I was one of the people involved in bringing the Sierra Leonean community together to have an effective voice. Because as you probably know, the influx of people from the Sierra Leone after the war, there were more people coming that time. And you know, I was from the community, and then working with the community CIDU, the Community Involvement and Development Unit of Suffolk Council, who was called at the time CIDU. CIDU. And the reason why that was necessary at that time is to make sure any emerging communities should have a voice. And therefore, and there are a lot of people who are involved, including those from the Sierra Leonean community who were already involved in community development, and we are all doing that. And the same thing with issue we're talking about, why Black labor movements was necessary. If you ask many people from the Black community, whether it's from African community, you know, Caribbean or Caribbean community, if you ask 10 people, maybe 7, 8, if you ask them which party they vote for, probably say they vote for Labour. But you then ask them, what do we get by in return? So arguably, some people probably say not much, if there's anything at all. But you cannot blame, if we are not properly organized and have our own effective voice to say, okay, this is the issue affecting our own community, and this is how we think you can help us to represent them. And that's why we probably feel left behind, and that is why we decided to form the Black Labor Movement, which is an organization, as you can see, speaking for ourselves.
Mr. Little,
so it's about
can we see this flyer, please?
Black Labor, speaking for ourselves. Yes. And it's open to people from the African and Caribbean communities, or mixed race, as long as you define yourself as somebody from the Black community. It's self-definition. If you think you're from Africa and Caribbean community, you are welcome to be part of that. And then we can whether man, woman, people with disability, or people from LGBT, it's open to everybody. We can then look at the issues that affect us. There are some issues which we pull together and send it, for instance, representation. There was a complaint that we're not having enough people from our own community being selected as representatives, either as councillor or as MP. So we make legitimate complaint to the party, and they are looking at it, see how can we select more people from our community. It could also be issue affecting us as a community as well, like gun crime, youth crime, and so on, knife crime. What can the government do more to help our community? Because we can only speak for ourselves. If we don't tell them the issue we are facing. Take, for instance, you have some parents, maybe it's the only person working in the family, or maybe it's a single parent, he has to go to work. And the time he or she has to go to work and earn a living, the child, maybe that's where the child is exposed to danger. Yeah. So, but how can we then help that parent, or even and also that child, to prevent them from getting such a very
suck into
in that dangerous environment? So these are the kind of issues whereby the organization can can help deal with.
Sorry for
please,
because at least let's just begin like
asking
questions.
Please.
because it's been like too much, so we need to be asking series of questions here.
Please feel free to ask me. No, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I have answers to everything.
Yeah,
I will answer as much as I can.
Absolutely.
I'll call a friend if I.
I will call a friend. Yes,
I just want to buttress what my landed colleague just said earlier on. The issue of this knife crime among our youths in the UK, and I've realized that it has got to do with the political tension between the two main political parties in the UK. Basically the Conservative and the Labour political party. Of course, we all know how conservative the Conservative are, who they believe in the individualism, the self, and hold very high value on the capitalist ideology. And because of that, they don't condole our kids to have kids out of school or on that age. So they are totally against this attitude of young girls getting pregnant. Therefore, they don't tolerate or they are in any position to assist or help financially or give them either homes or money. Unlike Labour, they see it differently. They take a different path. The path Labour took or they've been taken is, these are our children. We should not allow them to languish in the streets. We need to encourage them. In life, everyone can make mistake, and therefore for him to get pregnant is a mistake. Let's give our second chance. They give them homes, help them financially. This they have done, but the coming of the Labour, Conservative, the past years. They came up with the cutting of all the privileges. In fact, they axed almost everything, which my friend here can assist me here. They axed everything was cut, because as a result of the austerity. And this, to me, is a factor that has driven our children today in the streets. Because before I can vividly recall, the kids used to have what they call like a small assistant from the government when it passed the age 16 to 21. But they cut that off from there. They took it off entirely. Don't you think taking that small money given to them is a recipe or a contributing factor to what is happening today? Because the crime rate, the knife crime has become an epidemic. You understand? It has caused so much pain to families in this country. Don't you think it is as a result, not completely, one of the reasons because of the courts?
I think you made it. I would say you made some very valid points. Well, as you know, there are so many reasons why these things are happening. Yes, you're right. And one of them is probably lack of opportunities. Take, for instance, as an example I gave earlier, if the parent, let's say is a single parent, and even when the person is working, most of the income goes on paying rent and so on. And then the child sees one of the mates from school, the kind of trainers, and he or she wants to look good as well, wants to impress, but the parents cannot afford. What happened? And then there's somebody out there, probably a drug dealer or somebody. If you help me, you just have to do this. I mean, you had a county line and all the rest of it. You can have it, but this is what you need to do for me. So that young person will get sucked into life of crime.
Okay. Now,
by the time you realize, it's too late. So I just gave that as one of the examples.
So what I've understood from you here is inequality plays a very significant role here as a result of poverty. And because you are financially deprived, constrained, this is a factor that has pushed these kids. A trap.
It could be.
It's a trap for these poor, deprived children.
Lack of life chances.
Life chances
could be
which is
one
poverty.
of the contributing factors.
Okay.
And also, a young person that is denied education and training, for instance.
Okay.
For instance, you have young people. I've been school governor before, and you find young people expelled. Not from suspension, then leads to expulsion. Now, if that young person, unless you find an alternative for that young person to go to get trained, so that their life chances can be improved of getting job. Now, what do you think that young person's life is going to become? If somebody then lure that young person into crime, obviously he or she, it could be prostitution, it could be anything. The temptation will be there because he or she wants to live good life. We all want to live good life.
Okay.
But if you want to earn an honest living, now, so training is part, education is part of it. And that's why, as far as I know, my own party, of course, I think it's tomorrow, the formal announcement of labor policies manifesto will be announced, so that because it's better to come from the official, you see. But they have good plans, for how to tackle some of these problems. So, if you remember when Tony Blair was the leader of the Labour Party, when tackling crime and causes of crime.
Yes.
You tackle crime, but you also tackle causes of crime.
Yes. So
because if you don't tackle the causes of crime, exclusion from school, lack of job opportunity, then you may be spending money on putting people in prison. When they come out, what do they come back to? Because that person is still ignorant, still no skill to have a gainful job, which can help that person to start a new life. So therefore, we need to look at it in a very holistic way, and that's how Labour is trying to look at that. I mean, I can't speak, for any other party. All I know is that Labour is trying to deal with tackle crime and causes of crime.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Please, we want to get in touch. We need to have some amount of communication and collaboration. You can get us on 079-4614-1369. 079-4614-1369. Or you can email us on diasporanvoicesngsl@gmail.com. As we promised you, tonight is our first program, Salone Today. Salone Today encompasses a lot of variety of agenda. We're here to enlighten. We're here to discuss policies and politics. We are here to educate everyone. So as we are discussing tonight, we are tackling the issue of knife crime. Knife crime is a threat to national security. It's threatening the black and ethnic minority families. It's a threat to our future. It's a threat to our children. So therefore, it's a topic that I think we need to discuss. But we'd like to hear from you to give us your own view towards this issue. Mr. Lambe, now, now I'm looking at the population in prison. We have a huge amount of black children in prison, especially Salonians. Plenty there. What can we do to start the fight from prison as a black movement? Because this black movement, do I have seen it? It could be a platform or vehicle to bring in changes. What can we do? Because we have a lot of people, blacks who are baristas, solicitors, politicians. What can we do as a black movement to stop, I call it revolving doors of prison? Because children, as you just said, our children are going to prison, coming out, going back, coming out. Right? So what can we do as a black labor movement to thwart this chain of revolving doors?
I think it's come back to what I said before. First of all, let's look at those who are not in crime at the moment. Okay. How do we stop them from going to life of crime?
Okay.
That's number one. Then two, those who are already involved in crime, either they are in prison or they are coming out. How do we help them? To rehabilitate them. These are prevention. Preventing people find themselves in that situation.
How do you prevent them?
Now, coming back to what I was saying about school before. Now, the number of young people from the black community that are excluded from school, you already deprive that child a future. That child's future is already almost destroyed, because if he or she doesn't have education or training, the chances of that young person getting a good job will be limited. And then if he or she doesn't have good training, good education, the chances of that young person or that person being lured into life of crime is higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, coming back to famous Tony Blair phrase, fighting crime and causes of crime. We then look at those who are already in prison. There are those who make use of that time when they're there. They learn, they train new skills if they didn't have one before, especially those who are on long-term sentences. How do we make sure those who prison sentence is actually the only option? Because sometimes it's the only option. Having said that, if you then look at the number of black people in prison, you discover that for minor offenses, they gave them custodial sentences, whereas in some cases, maybe it's suspended sentence,
community service or community service.
Community service.
Yeah.
That's unfairness, injustice in the
justice system.
We also need to look at that.
Yep, that is correct.
So all these things, they all marry together. And without us having our own effective voice.
That's the point I'm raising.
That's why Black Labor Movement
has to be a vehicle.
We created that as a vehicle to influence, one, labor policies.
Yeah.
As a community, labor policy, as a community, and also we do, part of what we want to do in future, to do workshop, to do training. If people want to check us out, they can check out blacklabor.org.
blacklabor.org.
We are present, we have our own website, on Facebook, on Twitter, it's all there.
Yeah.
And so we encourage more people, we encourage people to set up Black Labor in their own community. We have in the borough, we have in the wards, we have across the country. People are now self-organizing.
So, what I understand from what you're
Yes.
saying, you're talking about black consciousness.
It's
a voice.
Definitely
We need a voice.
Yes.
Because if you draw a correlation to we and United States, the US has a very powerful voice within the caucus of politics.
Black community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of my question. How can we break the ice ceiling as a black community in the UK? Drawing a correlation between us and America blacks. In the United States, the blacks, they have broken the glass ceiling. They've produced a black president.
Okay,
They have.
Okay, can I just step in here? I believe one of the reasons I think that would be very much fundamental towards what you are saying should be the time we started penetrating the UK. We came in very late in the UK. Unlike the America, they've been there for over 300 years as a result of the black slavery. So because of that, they've been encroached into the system. Most of them have been assimilated inside the system. Unlike here, we came in too late here. Yeah, I think no. That is why I believe, and the population there.
It should be a barrier.
I know it shouldn't be, but the population there is huge. Comparatively,
that is true.
So when you consider, when you look at the population of blacks, ethnic minorities in the states,
have you heard of the phrase?
It's far much.
Have you heard of the phrase?
Yeah. Which one?
Size is not the matter. What you do with it.
Yes. I'm just reminding you. I'm just reminding you. Well, it's not how many.
I second your point.
It's not how many. It's not how many.
Yes,
it's how organized we are.
We are. I'm not differing that. Yeah. I'm not differing that. That is a salient point. Yeah. What I'm trying to develop the argument here is they are a bigger force comparatively. That is, although you said size doesn't matter, it doesn't mean the quantity but the quality. That's what you're talking about. Even if you are small, if you have the know-how, the technical know-how, you can deliver.
We have it.
You see, brother.
The system here, brother, the system is very much to me discriminative. That is what we call institutional racism, and it is operating here. Okay. This is no mistake. We shouldn't write that off.
No, you see, I'm not going to. There's discrimination everywhere.
Yes, of course, it is everywhere. But this is because you mentioned that.
No, wait.
You talk mention of that.
Brother, let me give you some insight.
Okay,
There's discrimination everywhere. Even in our own part of the world.
Yeah, it is everywhere.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
In our own part of the world. Oh, you are this tribe.
You are this
oh,
tribe.
you are this.
Yes.
Oh, a woman is this. A child is this. It's everywhere.
Yes, it is everywhere.
So that's
how we call it tribalism.
No, wait, that's number one.
Yeah.
Now, what we should be fighting for, in my opinion, is access to opportunities. That's it. And the barriers preventing us from
reaching those opportunities.
We should breaking it together.
That's
and the only way you can do that is by being
organized.
Being organized, having an effective voice, using the institutions that are already there.
Are we?
I'm coming back.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
There are some of our own. We work 24/7. We go to church or mosque. That is it. We don't get involved. I see sister a few times. She gets involved. She campaigns and so on.
She does.
Only recently, most of our people are getting involved. And sometimes something has to happen before we react. We are being reactive.
That's
we
why.
should be
That's
more
why.
proactive.
Sorry, brother. Sorry. That's why I have this program, Diaspora Voices.
Yeah.
We are giving a platform to diasporans to have a say.
And I give you an example. The first organization I set up was 1998, which was called Confederation of African Professionals UK. And do you know why? Because those of us who studied in the early 90s in this country, apart from those who came with their qualifications, say, oh, they don't recognize qualification. But they will tell us we're overqualified. So the door was closed on us. But at the same time, we then ask ourselves, okay, let me quickly finish it. We then ask ourselves, how do we...
Caller, please stay on the line.
Hello.
Yes, caller. Good evening. Who is calling? What's your name, please? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good evening. I'm Arun Pape. I'm calling from London.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I've been listening to the program. I've just got few questions for the counselor we have at the studio. First and foremost, I would like to commend you for your effort and the time taken in order to educate us with this program. We really applaud your efforts.
Thank you.
On that note, my question straight to it, Mr. Counselor.
Sir.
What has the Counselor influence have they done in order to reduce the rate of knife crimes within our community? As to what extent have they facilitated, because being that they deal with the local MPs and the law more or less, have they done anything to create in order to engage our youths that are involved in this knife crime also? That's one of my questions.
Okay.
And the other one is, to what extent have they gone through to look at most of our family members within our boroughs? We have ladies who are most single parents or whatsoever. At what extent do they try to help most of our single parents, sisters, mom, in the nation? So as for now, these are my two questions for the third counselor in the studio.
Yeah,
thank you, brother Arun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Stay
you.
online.
Okay, thank you, brother. I'm just going to quickly give you an insight. You see, knife crime is not something that started yesterday. I don't know if you've been listening to our conversation over the last 30, 45 minutes or so. When Damilola Taylor died in North Peckham, and another young man died just a few days after, and so many other young people have died since then. So knife crime is not something new. And some of us, me particularly, I set up Youth with just Peckham Supplementary School and so many things as part of tackling them. The isolation of our young people, something to occupy them. Especially you mentioned parents, single parents. Yeah, it's true. Some families don't work. Or does that mean the children have to suffer? No. So, how do we provide alternative solution for our young people when the mom or even the dad, in some cases the single mom or the single dad, go out to work and the children come back from school? How safe is the environment when they play? And this is part, and those days, even there are not much grant or anything to set up anything at all. I set up, in fact, even before short start, I set up my own little thing. And with volunteers, we organize ourselves. We use church hall, black history, drama, and so on. And then when the parents come back from work,
I'm still online, please.
Then when the parents come back from work, they take them and then they are safe.
Okay.
We can also use the same principle, the same approach, whereby we see some young people who do not have people to fall back on. You remember when those of us who came from Africa, we used to adopt the village approach.
Yeah.
Whereby, your next door neighbor, your uncle, even people you don't know, they are the family that look after the children. Of course, these days, things have changed. If you look at a child too much, they might think something else. They accuse you. Or even their parents now, a little scolding of their child can lead them to trouble. So, but it also tells us that we as parents, those of us who came from Africa, for instance, we have to adopt a new way of bringing up our children. So all that is part of what we can share together, either through our community groups, through church, mosques, and so on. So
the caller, are you still online?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. He's still explaining himself here.
So
there are other callers maybe online, but let's just keep it
so
fast.
that is part of what.
Thank you very much for calling in. We keep listening.
Yeah, that's part of the approach we can adopt, and of course, the local authority as well. I can only say like Cllr, for instance, there are some small, grants whereby people can find a creative way of dealing with some of these issues, either as an individual or as a community group. If so I would say if somebody go on Cllr website, for instance, and find some information on that, and I believe some other local authorities have similar schemes going on where they can. But what is important is that we as a community also have to take responsibility, because these are our children being killed.
Thank you.
And so it's a community issue, community problem that require community solution.
That's correct.
Thank you very much.
That's correct. Well done. Thank you, Mr. Lambe. So can we take a break? Yeah, let's
Mr. Arun?
Is it gone?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we are taking a 5-minute break.
If you're having credit problems, I feel bad for you, son. 1,000 problems, but a car ain't one. Wheels for sure, got me back in the car. Leasing with my credit, I was like, man, forget it. Who would've thought I'd be accepted and more? But now I got the keys, I feel so pleased. All types of cars, Fiats, Minis, Renaults, boom, boom, let's go. Wheels for sure, car leasing for every credit score.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1.
What a weed!
Not again. Why don't you come over and talk to her?
But we still haven't learned the lines to the song. My dad needs me.
I got it. Got what? I've got an idea that's going to bring back the academy to its former glory.
You've been drinking again.
I don't want any trouble. I just want to go home.
I've never been this happy to see a new iPad.
How can you even afford that?
Don't know and I don't care.
Rhoda, it's going to help you with your healing.
Oh, Mother Africa, how beautiful you are.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
You're just dreaming. The road to Wilson Academy is closed, so you cannot become a superstar.
Maybe I'm dreaming, but dreams come true.
Put your hands together for Road, please.
To be a superstar at the Rhoda Wilson Academy.
Whenever I'm down, I call on you, my friend. A helping hand you lend in my time of need. So I'm calling you now, just to make it through. What else can I do? Won't you hear my plea? Friends may come and friends may go, but you should know that I've got your back. It's automatic, so never hesitate to call. 'Cause I'm your sister, and always for you. And don't know what I'd ever do without you from the beginning till the end. I've always been here right beside me, so I'll call you my best friend. Through the good times and the bad ones, whether I lose or if I win, I know one thing that never changes, and that's you and my best friend.
Original and brand new collections where they come out every year. Well, finally, Mustuwe Investments, my answer. Mustuwe Investments where they number 3 Savage Choir back of Staco Cinema, Dan Lane Junction. Now the right place for you for sure. Mustuwe gets perfect gym trusses them for man and woman. He also gets sandals, slippers, sneakers, and body tops. For ladies, them wear one for always look good. It gets beach wears and bikinis. And get sober shirts them for man. Mustuwe gets original Lacoste, and they sell all type of football supporters jersey from around the world. Mustuwe Investments gets original human with one ear, with all length, and they with closure. So for you when you work in an office, you win a bluff man, and you win a businessman, always one for look good. Mustuwe Investments, now the place where you for sure. Mustuwe even they do customized jersey. Contact Mustuwe on 076 620050 or 030852221. Mustuwe Investments, your place to be.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, viewers. This is the new brand program, Salone Today. I'm here with my co-host, Chief Yamba Deen Kamara, and brother Sonny, and our beautiful sister, Sister Mariama Lee, Baby Kamara. So I'm happy because I'm a feminist. So we have a diverse team now. We brought in our sister to come actually help us a little bit to strengthen this issue. The issue about this gun and knife crime is eating deep into our communities, and it's going to be talked about. The more we talk about race, the more we are educating people, because this program is about education. It's about enlightenment, to enlighten people here in London, across the world, in Sierra Leone, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in the United States, everywhere. Because we are here as a team of diverse expertise. So, and because we are privileged, we are blessed with those expertise, we would like to share our ideas that we have within this framework to everyone across the world. Baby-Leigh?
Yeah, Sister Baby-Leigh.
So now, again, we'll give you your own perspective, your own, what if it's a now will help we for this problem? Because you don't see first hand. You know the consequence, you know the pains, you know everything, and I'm so blessed. We are so blessed and privileged for getting there. Welcome you. Thank you very much. So, what in your own opinion? Yeah, advice.
Yeah.
Talk about Creole. This is Creole.
You can mix the two together.
Yeah.
That's why we call it broken English.
Yeah,
it can be broken and then put the pieces together.
Well, as for me, I no go wish for any comrade, be man or woman, for go through them pain they go back up till now. Because a big soul in my heart. It's a broken heart. So I know they expect anybody na this world for go through them pain then as I go through now. Because born who picking there, for they can be a future leader then.
Absolutely.
For me they can take care of we. For me they can look after we, the generation there yet unborn. But not to for can beg back young picking there. You see, what they say is this part of the world can fend yourself, who can have for can better and make we lead to a small thing all get for yourself. Because we can at this country for help yourself, not to for can the thing like this wandering or anything. Because I really stressful thing where I did right now. Now God no more and prayers. Now in the help person. But what I say is we picking them. Alexa picking you strict children, mommy strict. Papa de na house, mama de na house. Would they say na God's? Anything God say, it happen at the world, now I get for happen. Although now untimely death making taken that way day. Because God cannot give say this person it can give you long life. I even you wait yourself. Now long life we always they pray for picking them for yourself, for everybody who surround you at this world. But this what are they see at this country here so to don't find yourself. This but good thing that they relate to drugs. The government now one, but some picking them back where they land back kick them at school. The neighbors then now one accept of the killing because he can get bad neighbor. He meet up bad party. Now school, he meet up also they go tempt you picking. Pamboku boku thing there. This killing yeah. But what are they think now this country more the government back doing your where they cut Pamboku thing there. One is then cut the picking their money. Like waiting this me uncle they talk about today about the cutting of money now school. Now they encourage the picking them. Now they give them more security like youth clubs then. Now the school back the teacher then can pick on picking where the man me all this me uncle me they talk today say where they suspend picking the waiting safe then they all the cost contributes to this thing because the teacher them back they pick on the picking then at school. Sometimes small thing we do where them for talk to you then can go to head teacher what do they do now suspending they suspend you or they drive you at the school then they all can act to this thing there because when they suspend you some picking and they before them parents then they go tell them parents then they go tin up online then they go then at them park then they at them small place they also they sit down with their company and go together. So until one day when they left school all along if they go tin up with her they talk with her so they tell her go do this and then big man they also back get na the society in a park na the area they begin they push with picking them for go sell drugs. Tell them say na so na this clothes here I go buy for you na this thing I dey buy for you. You take this money and some picking and then another see big money. Sometimes one day another see big money like that. One another begin sometimes the name make Komra where they na us. He be there with papa man o you know there with man o. You get for go dey watch you picking. You get for go dey monitor you picking. Because you go get a lunch or you pay na school for lunch. The way they eat, you get for monitor am. Because me, it's just unfortunate. Because that was now they do all along. I dey watch me pikin environment, the way they eat, the way I dey in manners way they na host with me. As you go school, I go change, go ransack in room, check for everything. for look for them, have small thing, evidence for say for drugs, for anything. Sometimes they don't get and for can hold on, sometimes party don't get and bag for all, instead put an iron bag if it's and can use. Because then country I get for prevent yourself and trouble. You see, there's small have thing there and then they all they cause this problem.
Yeah,
and
hold up. I know, so sorry for cutting you word. It makes you one very key important thing we talk about seriously for expel people in school. Because what's happening when they put people in school, you know, go school. So they know that the way Brazil may talk say, they don't get opportunities. Because you put people in school, when I take a training, maybe go for train them, for get opportunity, maybe get the experience for get a job. But if you put them in school, what you expect for do? You go down the house, wait till the house, you go down straight. So now so they take them for make you go inside that society. Not so? So I'm happy where like so now we as Comrade then, if you see picking say this is sign of disturbance. I feel say you go for pay attention for school, you go for even visit the school and talk to the teacher how you going for help for even for putting people together and make it avoid this route of being expelled from school. I feel say that it's very, very important for not to engage the school because if you show sign I say that's a problem at school. Then before they go expelled, sometimes if you go for intervene, you go for intervene early, make them for protect the for being expelled because once people are at school, now they trouble start. Mariama, what are you?
I feel say the parents get a very big role for play, but however the government also gets a very phenomenal role for play. As I say the cutting of the privilege to the PK and a very big factor. This don't make the PK vulnerable to the big man where they hang around, where they use them PK for go sell the drugs. And then PK because you know able hold 10 pound, 20, 30, 40 pounds. Somebody they can get 200 points, don't sell their life. They are if for common and I prime, they threaten and say they kill the whole family. So it's not great fear. However, make us stop here. Mr. Lambe, do you continue why you reform you?
Oh yeah,
say it in English.
No, thank you, sister. I think you made some very valid points because I mean, if it affects you, it's your experience as a parent. And nobody can ever take that away from any parent. No matter how close we are, we can't begin to understand how that person is feeling. It's everyday pain. Now, coming back to the issue of expulsion, school expulsion. I can understand why. Because don't forget, when the school decide to expel a child or suspend a child, they are following the guideline. Is there?
No, but some have been found wanting.
No, I'm coming. Yeah.
Yes.
They are following the guideline because it's the law. It's like when you go in front of a judge, he or she is only interpreting what the law says. Yeah. However, this is where the policy comes in. When every child, you see, each child is different. There are some children, academic education is not for them. If you go back to those of us who are growing up in Africa, I remember we used to have comprehensive school.
Yeah.
We have different kind of education. Okay, if this one is not good for you, you can go on that way.
Even grammar school, we have grammar school.
Because don't forget, it's about improving somebody's life chance.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you. If you look at some people like Richard Branson and all the rest, which education did they have?
Yes.
But they are successful. So my approach, is about us understanding that each child is different. Each child has a right. The child you are trying, or the children you're trying to protect in the class, because there's one or two making noise, and you want to expel them.
Yes.
Actually, that child or the children, they are crying for help.
Yep, that's correct. That's
we need to see that way. Yep. They are crying for help. That's no environment for them.
No.
We are failing them. It's not meeting their needs. So therefore, what we should be doing as policymakers, okay, there are some children who this kind of education is not fit for them, okay, what kind of education or training will they respond positively to? You find some of these young people, they are so talented. If you give them,
absolutely,
you will see
their skills.
It just shows you something that we concentrate too much on academic education.
Exactly.
They are vocational skills. If you see them making something, some of them could be in art, some of them could be in building, some of them could be
musicians.
It's a question of understanding. How do we get the best out of this child? Then you see, I've seen some cases whereby that child is directed to something else. You won't believe, is this the same child? They used to be disruptive.
Yes.
So why can't we
alternative
explore that? But imagine if our sister is not among us. The four of us as men, we'll be talking about men issue. But the moment she's here, she's able to start from a woman's perspective.
Absolutely.
And the same principle applies. We as black people, whether of African or African Caribbean community, if we are not there where policies are being made, some people do not understand our issue. Be making it's not because they want, they do it deliberately to affect us negatively. No, because that's based on their own understanding.
Okay,
so therefore, when the issue about when woman speaks,
yes,
she speaks from experience,
from the heart, yes,
and then she be able to influence that policy.
Yeah,
when a young person speaks, you listen to that young person. He or she be able to influence that policy. Likewise, when black people of African Caribbean communities speak, we're able to influence the policy. But if we are not around the table, we'll be missing.
Absolutely.
And issues affecting us will not be there. With. Hence, where we set up
that's
this
the next question. That's my next question. So now, like in the United States, there is no succession without representation, isn't it? If we are contributing, we should be represented. So now tell me, why should we vote for Labour?
Okay.
Because we want to be represented. Why should we? And I'll ask you two questions. Well, I would like you to give me an insight about this. What's the role of people referral units? Because that place is something else. But we'll get to that. But for the time being, tell us, because if church in the key area, if we are not there, our voices are not heard. So why shall we vote for Labour? Because we want to be there. Tell us why.
Okay. First of all, let's deal with the issue of referral unit.
Okay.
In the classroom, I've been a teacher or lecturer before. Of course, I don't do primary, I do with further education and higher education. So, well, a disruptive person in the class is a disruptive person, whether it's a child or an adult.
Yes.
Because he or she stops other children or other people from learning.
Yeah, that's correct.
And the teacher, with enormous pressure on them, want to, after they say keep quiet or don't do that, after a while they say, you know what, if you're not going to learn, then you're not going to prevent other people from learning. That's why they then isolate that young person and refer that person to a unit whereby they can then tailor the needs of that child outside the main group.
Yes.
Is refer to that. Now they have support. Of course, you can argue that what level of support they have. How adequate.
The funding.
It's not to completely
the funding, yes.
Personally, it's like isolating the child.
So it's like,
I personally don't.
It's a punishment, you think?
But they are only interpreting the law, the policy.
Yes.
That is why the Labour, for instance, part of education policy, which all that come under, is to look alternative way of dealing with that. Remember, I mentioned before, when a child is being disruptive, we may think is disruption fine. It's actually a cry for help. If we see it that way, that I'm not gaining from this.
That is true.
I'm not responding to this. Can you find me
an alternative?
So what is causing that for the child to be a bit rebellious when he's in the classroom?
Because it's not fitting in the environment.
It's like they give you a food
that you don't like.
You don't like.
So, but because they are kids, they don't have. That's the only way they can express themselves is by being rebellious in the classroom.
if you go back
because
to
the communication is not
you
effective
know,
there.
the same issue, a woman react differently. A young person react differently. Simply because we are of African origin or West African, it doesn't mean we will see things the same way. We are. So if we look at it that way, then we begin to understand that even though it's the same classroom, it's the same we are being taught, all of us will not respond the same way. And it's then, as long as the policymakers understand that, okay, whereby we have some people who will react to something differently, can we then provide them with an alternative provision
that will suit them?
Rather than just
condemning
them
and
saying
chuck them out.
They don't belong.
Yes.
And that is what I think this is where the problem comes from. What our sister was explaining. They've been marginalized subconsciously by the system. And this is wrong. I think this is where the problem starts.
And the only way we can influence that, change that, is by having an effective voice. You know, because we are so busy with other things, or sometimes we don't give our time for the right things. If a pastor, I'm going to my pastor, it happens in our community. We have more time for the pastor than going to church, going to school,
to check out
or
children.
going to community like tenants and resident association meeting, or a committee where they're going to discuss issue. Majority of our committee now, in a way, you don't know what is going on. You don't know how to be part of it.
Absolutely.
And we are here, and if we are not being active in what is going on, don't forget, they have to consult on it. If your local authority want to make policy on something different, like they want to put yellow line in some area, they will have to consult by law.
By law.
Okay.
Consultation.
Consultation is very key.
If you don't do it, that's a procedure impropriety.
I'm just giving you that example. Now, how many people get involved? You look at the area, maybe you have about, let's say, 100 people. Sometimes if you get 10 people that respond to it, and then sometimes they may organize a meeting in a TRA hall saying, we want to discuss this. What think they talk, sir? I don't get time, Jerry.
That is not the issue that affects you, but you're not there.
The issue that affects you, but you're not there. You just neglect everything.
Now, and then
just ignore.
And then one person I also going to. You see, we also say, we don't have enough black representation. Now, some of us vote Labour, don't we? Most of us vote Labour. I can see my sister wearing a Labour bag. And she's been campaigning.
She's a full-blown Labour.
If you then ask us, how many of us are carrying Labour Party card? If you count 100 that vote Labour, maybe only one you find. Now, it's true, we are committed, we are giving them our vote. But don't forget, when they need to select representative in your area, it's the party that will do that. But your voice is not there.
It's not there.
The call is the party that will select the candidate. For instance, I was selected in Bermondsey, for instance. You all know it's a white area. Now, if they took a gamble on me, because majority of people in the room are white people. Now, you don't blame them if they don't select me.
Exactly.
Because they are the one at the meeting. No, let's be honest about it.
They are casting their votes.
But when they they try immediately, actually this guy care about committee, even though he's dark skin, he's black, then they select me again. I topped the poll at the last election.
Cllr, can you just...
What I'm trying to say, we need to get involved.
Okay, Cllr, 1 minute.
Enough of excuses.
That's true.
Thank you.
No more excuses.
Viewers, good evening once more again. This is the voice of Yamba. You can reach us on 07946 141369. You can reach us on this number again, ladies and gentlemen, 07946141369, or diaspora voices ngsl@gmail.com. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Yamba. Yes, Baby-Leigh. Baby-Leigh, no, listen. You are so smart. You charge of something that you didn't even discuss, didn't it? And so you say when you begin to go to school, you check him, you see that you should say you care. You should say you either you care him because you don't know what the pikin count now. So parents don't even care. When they don't care, say the pikin I see count something way not me not to buy for that. What's that? But you dey check for know what the count now. So they are all cut from there.
The advice is any come right not to pass papa then us or mama anybody. You get for always they look at you picking where you go to school that random check in the morning.
Yeah.
Because maybe they work on it and maybe God they with me now us or me they wait is but my job is like 9 quarter-past 9 I go start. I did drive from me house to late one time still. But I always make sure that 8 o'clock or 8:30 now they left house. I make sure say while I left house I check on me picking I check on me. So now that I always they tell me because who tell me picking can and who tell this way can na morning meant to who's I go. I keep on the check up. Because picking them if they meet up party there most of the time. Now party they can influence them. Go out, come on. Not all say some picking when they go out now bad then they go do. Then they go do bad. Then go then at the area. And 2, me walk 7 quarter-past 7 I don't left me walk. I don't come back. Now us quick for come for check on the beginning. I dey go to school in the morning. I check in bag, I check and use everything because I get to know. Because they go now they wardrobe them, they check the clothes what they get. Because if you not to me by obviously what's like puller. You see? So 2 because it gets man there. Sometimes now young person self na the area all know you. Now they influence the picking not of far away person. Now people they already sabi una. Now people they only know una. Now then they influence them picking there.
Okay.
Then their uncle, their auntie them.
Okay, hold on.
Because they know the young person is
yes,
vulnerable.
So now, what may I suggest to you? Because most of the cry, now the woman they cry too much.
Yes.
So what we as a community woman they will do? Me, I more take the bull by the horn. What I mean,
yeah.
Why make the woman there? You know, you a leader because I don't see a lot of places where they take a leadership role. Why make we una as woman there? Una not stand up. More go to parliament, no go protest there.
Well,
more could go tell and say who don't have to cry.
The for mommy picking die, and they sensitize some woman them. Boku, especially with Sierra Leone people them. You understand? And then they come out, and so then they neglect say, oh, not on me picking. Oh, are they afraid? Are they do this? And no can't hold me. Men no can't do this to me. You understand? They be picking and get picking there, and they can't do this to me. One good person voice, I don't try with nail coil. What is it today? I be delicate for labor. Because nail coil stand for me, farm na me area. For supports me during parliament, during me cry up till now. It supports me. The parliament for ways of knife crime, or then they cut police, so to say, we now look in Lake Street. That Sodok side now. Police there every time they complain, close everything. For mommy picking that because I stand farm. I'll talk to her, I see the police of the head of police.
Well done.
Where head of police na parliament. Nil coil make a see him. I see even before Theresa May left. He can't be a prime minister. I meet with Theresa May that time where he be immigration home office secretary. I meet with her. I don't meet so many people there where na from parliament where I dey talk for no make they help this court. I write a letter to Cameroon where himself support say he talk in a parliament, then debate on me picking case in a parliament. Where I'm happy for that. Where I stand still for labor, men and come to power, to governance. Because today we picking them. Me don't go, but other picking them. The other picking them. So now that they are the tina fine, and they pull up me voice, and they waiting for other picking them. And what me get the pain. Woman they suffer. boy born say pikin 9 months, he carry her begin carry and go to school, say pull and say they can't afford be somebody can kill her for you.
Very painful.
So all very, very painful. So I don't want that to happen again. So any Komra, any of my sister, to anybody in this world may happen to like what happened to me. So now that they try for sensitize people then, woman especially now we they go through pain. So more go tinap for going to parliament, we talk, make a real voice because the knife crime is too much.
Because it don't come to
fundamental.
It don't become an
disease. One voice not able. I don't try. They cut that. They bring camp police now all over now the area.
Yeah.
Me God herself can testify that now the area all Sodok now police plain clothes. This now the area Cllr Street, Brandon everywhere police.
Can I ask you, madam? Sorry to call you. I just want to, as you know, because some of us who are involved in, at least even though it's at local level, who are involved in
policies,
and so
policy making.
You know, we've talked about education, we talk about expulsion, we talk about all these things. From you having been through what you went through, what else, or what step do you think policymakers, people in the government who are responsible for making law, policy, and so on, what should we be doing? Because I'm one of these people, I prefer to work for prevention.
Yes, that's
whether we have 1 million police on the street, the damage is already done.
Yes.
I rather work for preventing it from happening.
Well, that's why I'm
future.
doing.
So, what are the things we who are in a position of authority, policy making, what else do you think we should be doing to prevent such thing from happening in future? Yes.
Well, to prevent, you have to go to the parliament, talk to your
MPs.
Your MPs, like you're a councillor, talk to the MPs to put more effort about police and the cutting of police and the crime prosecution. Because if there is a case like now my son's case, although some people they are saying, oh, they have dropped it, that this, that, no, they are not dropping it, it's still on. Because of the government, the cutting of the prosecution, the cutting money.
So I don't think maybe you didn't understand my question. Because it's already happened. So and those steps to deal with what's already happened, that is one part, which you are right, which you've already explained. But want to learn more about how do we even prevent it from happening again. Those people like yourself who already been through that, we pray it never happen again.
Can I help you?
How do we? I want to hear from the sister because she's, she's a mother.
Well, to prevent it is by going to the school. That is one effort, like a counselor talking to the school, because they are the one they have big problem by these kids. They don't accommodate them very well at all. Education, you understand? To give them more education on knife crime, you can prevent it. Telling these kids in the school, make like meeting them, school to school, make organize. Programs for these kids.
How about community group?
That's what I'm saying. Community groups, talking to the teachers, talking to even the head teachers.
No, that is school. I'm talking about our own community.
By the community, by making meetings, calling them in a community accept, like calling all neighbor, make leaflets and drop it. Say today we have a meeting about knife crimes. Talking to the children. By talking to them, talking to the parents, bringing the children in the community, let them to hear about and put money. What I'm trying to say is, like you are a counselor now, you have to even organize programs for young kids. Because when you bring this program, that they encourage them to come and listen. But if you don't. Like what I'm trying to say, like summer.
No, you are making
summer. You make like
a festival.
In the festival in the park
with incentive.
Yes. To make fun fair, make it for the children.
Targeting it to our young people.
Yes. Our young children. Bringing people. So all of parents. That is important. Parents.
Do you know about youth council?
Sorry.
Youth council.
Me? Sorry?
If you know about youth council.
Yeah, youth council, yeah.
Because
bringing the youth council.
Because we realize that some of our young people, especially from our community,
they are not being represented.
They are not involved.
They are not there.
They are not involved.
Yeah, but also let me just
education.
There is a clash here of culture. I think that's very important as well.
Yes.
Culture, because we are Africans. When we blend with the culture, we want to maintain our culture at the same time. We want to be westernized. That can also influence the child.
Yeah, but
What
that's
do you
not,
think?
no. I know why I, with due respect, I probably disagree with you.
Yeah.
There are other communities.
We have Asia.
Asian communities
to combine the two
They
together.
strictly uphold
You are now in Rome.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong in learning about the Roman, how they interact, but that doesn't mean you
cannot blend your
forget
culture.
about who you are. We have other communities. We have the Asian, we have the Jewish community, we have the Chinese community. We have all these communities.
They still protecting their culture.
They are not less people because they adopt part of what is good about this society and also what is good from their own culture.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be one or the other. You can infuse the two. You can infuse both. Exactly. Take for instance, because I remember a few decades ago, when they look at African children, they say, how can, African, especially, our parents that time, our children come out different in the sense that they are well disciplined. Well disciplined. All of a sudden, in fact, I remember there be comments, the difference between black people, young people from the African and the Caribbean community. There used to be comment, sentiment, and so on. But there isn't any difference these days. But there are some values we as black community lost. Black community. And also know some young people who were brought from, for instance, from Jamaica and other islands from the Caribbean. And those who are brought from Africa, in West Africa and so on, and you bring them, you even know. And the way they relate, the way they... So why can't we then look at those values we have as a people and start? Because if we start looking at those values, take for instance, part of values we learn is self-discipline, for instance, respect for others. All these things, some of our young people these days, they lost it. And we need to start maybe going back to the drawing board.
Yes.
Of course, not the same way when you and I were growing up.
It's
not the same way.
Because the world has
it will be
evolved.
different. The way we do it will be different. Like the example I gave earlier about, when we were, because we are bored, doesn't mean we go and attack another child. Even those days when we are upset with each other, we go and wrestle.
Because
we
now,
go and wrestle, and then we shake each other afterwards, saying, but now they want to kill each other. Why?
Because now the world is so interconnected, interwoven. We are more connected. The society. Then those days, we are more like a bit isolated, but we still keep to our values, our norms that held us together as a society. But integrating the society is very good, but there is a big disadvantage: the knife crime. I think this has played a very pivotal.
But also don't forget, even in the Asian community, you just have to go to East London.
They have the
issue of knife crime. Whereas
it's there, but
got to 10, 15 years ago, it probably is unheard of. It's unheard. So we can see how much the influence from outside can also play.
And
sorry, you wanted to say something, sister.
What I'm trying to say is I'm just keep on saying that the schools, the head teachers, the teachers, and they have to keep an eye on these children, especially when they are coming out of school, going home, they finish school. The teachers have to know that, ring their parents, talking to their parents that, the school, so time, they should be like bond with the teachers and the parents.
Can I be honest with you?
To bring the children, because sometimes in my area, you can see, I even talk to the police.
Can I be honest with you? Imagine a school where you have 600, 1,000 people, And then you only have, even some schools have shortage of teachers, resources. You see, I'm being honest. You see, there.
Well, it's the government.
Sometimes we just be realistic, because if we start from that state of realism that these are the facts, how do we then navigate our way through that? Then we get in somewhere, because it's not the teachers. They are already up to here in terms of the amount of workload.
The funding, the resources is just
it's
limited.
Which means it's a partnership from all of us, the community, the
community.
school,
The
the government, all of us together. Don't forget. I'm not saying they shouldn't do more. You see them, some of them are already overstretched, and with little resources or none of it they have. So therefore, I think going back to, there are certain values we as black community, especially those of us who came from home, who grew up, those values, let's tweak them a bit, let's adjust them a bit, and then find a way to inject them into our children. Not the same way, it was forceful. We have to change the language we use, the way we because in our own, is that they just tell you. They don't teach you an adult, even though you might be as tall as your parents, but because we just have to obey them. But not anymore. We have to find a different way of parenting our children with respect. Especially, don't forget, most of the young people here, if you don't hear from you, they see on the telly. When they go to school, they see it. Even they see more from outside than they see through us. That's where the influence comes from. That is why we also need to try as much as possible. How do we make sure our children, they are our friend? A friend to the point that even when something terrible, they feel comfortable telling us. You find that some children can't talk to their parents.
Communication.
They cannot talk to their parents. They have a different family outside. A family outside. And don't forget, when they have these people, family from outside, we've already lost. Oh yes, they have them. Like those who are involved in crime, for instance, it's a family. It's a family, but family outside the family,
Exactly.
The original family.
Exactly.
And that is why the first thing we probably need to do is to make sure our children, our friends, and they feel, no matter how difficult the situation, they feel comfortable sharing their concerns with us.
Okay. Well, Brother Sonny, we are so proud to have you here, and Sister Mariama, Baby-Leigh Kamara, and my co-host Yamba. Yamba, please, I would like you to end up the show, and we should also thank our viewers and our special, extraordinary director of the program. God bless our DJ Little, the producer
DJ Little.
Yeah, this is the first day of the program. Our next program should be on the 11th of December. It's gonna be another big one. We're gonna bring another big one here. As we said the last time, we will deliver for the show by God's power. Yamba, please.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I want to give special thanks to the producer, Brother DJ Little. You've done excessively
and the
well.
management.
This is a very good program. People are gaining immensely from what you are doing here. And bravo to you, big small board. Ladies and gentlemen, the viewers, let me commence by acknowledging the presence of our sister here, Baby-Leigh, who has been traumatized for many years. But thank God she's courageous today. My sympathy for the lost son. And also our councillor, Mr. Councillor Lim, Sonny Lim is here with us. A pleasure to have you here. You've done immensely well. And to the viewers, it's a privilege. We are very much proud of you guys. Thank you very much for having us here. And I will now hand you over to the chief host, His Excellency Alhaji Thonkla to sum up and give the last saying here.
Yeah, well, yes, Mr. Yamba Deen Kamara. Well, I just need to buttress what you just said. Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you, Mr. DJ Little. Thanks the management of this program, Mr. Sony. I'm always proud of you. That's why that's why we're going to vote for Labour, because Labour have some powerful councillors, powerful MPs.
Don't worry, I'm happy to come back in future.
No,
definitely.
We are one big absolutely. So, Mr. Sony, God bless you for coming.
Thank you.
Sister Mariama, God bless you too. We're going to be in together. We're going to fight.
Let's hope we have something to celebrate.
Absolutely.
On the 13th of December. Let's hope we have something.
Absolutely.
We're going to be on the 11th December. By God's grace.
By God's grace. So, viewers, thank you very much. Viewers across the world, Sierra Leone, America, everywhere across the world.
Globally.
And London as well. Thank you very much. Thanks for the last caller, Mr. Rupape. We are proud of you. Thank you very much. Yeah? Yes, Mr. Little. Good night.
Anything to say, Mr. Little?
No. Yes, good night, guys.
Thank you.
Tribalism, chronic disease. Tribalism, everlasting sickness. Oh. Person wey sabi work, we no gree take am for work, because na bandon tribe. Na person wey no sabi, na him we dey take, because na langa tribe. Na wetin we dey do so. I be na front we dey go, on a back we dey come. That na forward never, and backward never. Oh, go, go, go. If you know from my tribe, I no go fit help you. If we no speak the same dialect, I no go fit take you like person. It just be like say, no be the same God break us. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh. God help us drive tribalism. You be Alpha and Omega. Now you alone go drive tribalism. You be Alpha and Omega. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1.
What are we?
Not again. Why don't you come over and talk to her?
But we still haven't learned the lines to the song. My dad needs me.
I got it.
Got what?
I've got an idea that's going to bring back the academy to its former glory.
You've been drinking again.
I don't want any trouble. I just want to go home.
I've never been this happy to see a new iPad. How can you even afford that? Don't know and I don't care.
Rhoda, it's going to help you with your healing.
Oh, Mother Africa, how beautiful you are.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
You're just dreaming. The Royal Wilson Academy is closed. You cannot become a superstar.
Maybe I'm dreaming, but dreams come true.
put your hands together for Rhoda, please.
To be a superstar at the Rhoda Wilson Academy.
Come on, Jehovah, say it. Jehovah, you. Say it. I trust in you. In you. Say it, y'all. Oh, Lord. Jehovah, you. I trust. Say it. I trust. Show me how to do it, y'all. In you. I believe. Say it, say it. I believe you. I trust. I trust. Come on. In you. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Jehovah, you. Where y'all at? Come on, come on. I trust in you. I believe, say it. I believe. You are the God of miracles. You are the God of miracles. You are the God of wonder. You are the God of wonder. You are the God all powerful. You are the God all powerful. I believe, say it. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. Say it, y'all. Come on, let your feet get heavy. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Somebody make some noise in here. Come on, catch it, Jehovah. Jehovah. I trust. I